Ferrari refuses to celebrate. Why the SF-26 still isn't good enough, and Formula One is about to change forever. What if Ferrari's biggest improvement of the season still isn't enough? That is the question shaking the Formula One paddock after Ferrari's technical leadership delivered a surprisingly cautious assessment of the SF-26. Despite scoring 2 victories in the first half of the 2026 season and making what appears to be significant progress, Ferrari insists that now is not the time for celebration. Even more surprisingly, team principal Fred Vasseur says he doesn't even think about the championship standings when he wakes up each morning. At the same time, Formula One is preparing for another massive technical revolution, with major engine regulation changes already planned for 2027 and beyond. So, is Ferrari hiding its true potential, or does the team know that the hardest part of the season is still ahead? Let's break down everything happening at Maranello and what it could mean for the championship fight. The biggest talking point comes from Ferrari Technical Director Loïc Serra, who made it clear that judging the SF-26 halfway through the season would be a mistake. According to Serra, no one inside Ferrari is interested in giving the car a grade yet because the only meaningful evaluation will come after the final race of the season. While many fans see 2 victories as proof that Ferrari has finally returned to the front, Serra believes the reality is much more complicated. He explained that Formula One is a constant development race where every team continues improving throughout the year. A car may appear dominant one weekend, only to lose that advantage after rival teams introduce their own upgrades. That is why Ferrari refuses to judge its own progress based only on race results. Instead, the team measures every update against the pace of McLaren, Mercedes, and Red Bull. According to Ferrari, the SF-26 has improved by roughly 0.8 of a second since the opening races of the season, an impressive gain on paper. However, because every major rival has also made significant improvements, much of that advantage has effectively disappeared once everyone returned to the track. Reports surrounding Ferrari's development program have also pointed to a third major upgrade package expected later in the season, along with continued work on the power unit. Serra described Formula One development as a relentless cycle. Every time Ferrari introduces an upgrade, it expects to gain valuable performance. But that advantage often lasts only until the competition responds. This pattern has already been seen with Ferrari's update packages introduced earlier in the season. Internal simulations reportedly showed the upgrades delivering exactly the expected performance gains, yet the visible gap to competitors remained almost unchanged because McLaren, Mercedes, and Red Bull immediately answered with improvements of their own. That explains why Ferrari looked extremely competitive at some circuits while appearing much less impressive at others. Rather than chasing headlines after every race, the engineers continue focusing on extracting maximum performance one event at a time. Perhaps the most important challenge still facing Ferrari is the power unit. Although the chassis has taken a major step forward and tire management has become one of the SF-26's greatest strengths, Ferrari is still believed to trail Mercedes in outright engine performance. The team has already narrowed part of that gap through revised hybrid deployment strategies and updated engine specifications, but the most significant step could still be ahead. Reports suggest Ferrari is working on further turbocharger improvements as part of an updated power unit package plan for later in the season. Meanwhile, another important aerodynamic package is expected to arrive before Ferrari's home race, with engineers hoping those upgrades will allow the SF-26 to maximize its strengths on circuits that reward mechanical grip and tire management. Ferrari's official 2026 car information also highlights the team's completely redesigned philosophy under the new regulations. Charles Leclerc has also encouraged Ferrari to remain aggressive with development. While rival teams continue introducing new components almost every race weekend, Ferrari knows that standing still is simply not an option. Serra himself emphasized that the SF-26 is not the work of one individual, but the result of hundreds of engineers contributing together. Since joining Ferrari after successful spells elsewhere in Formula One, Serra has invested enormous effort into the project. Yet even after visible progress, he insists complete satisfaction simply does not exist in Formula One. Every improvement only creates another target to chase. Then comes the statement that has sparked perhaps the biggest debate across the paddock. While Serra analyzes numbers with the mindset of an engineer, Vasseur approaches the championship with remarkable calm. Ferrari has not won a driver's championship since 2007 or a constructor's championship since 2008. Yet Vasseur refuses to let those statistics dominate daily life inside the team. According to him, he does not wake up thinking about championship standings or calculating the points gap to Ferrari's rivals. Instead, his entire focus remains on preparing for the next race and continuing development. His philosophy is simple. Worrying about the championship months before the season ends wastes valuable energy that should instead be invested in improving the car. Vasseur also addressed the enormous emotional pressure surrounding Ferrari. Managing Formula One's most famous team means constant speculation from fans and the media. Every disappointing weekend generates rumors about staff changes, technical restructures, and leadership decisions. Vasseur admitted that such reports can create unnecessary pressure for employees working behind the scenes. Engineers and strategists become targets of criticism long before the season is over, making an already demanding environment even more difficult. His message was clear. Ferrari must protect its people if it wants to build a championship-winning organization capable of competing over the long term. Beyond Ferrari itself, Formula One is already preparing for another major transformation. Even though the sport has only recently entered a new technical era, discussions have already resulted in plans to revise future power unit regulations. Engineers concluded that the original balance between electric and combustion power required further refinement. As a result, Formula One intends to gradually increase the contribution of the internal combustion engine while slightly reducing peak electric output. Future regulations are also expected to allow larger battery capacity and greater energy recovery, helping drivers deploy electrical power more efficiently throughout each lap, rather than exhausting it too quickly on long straights. These planned adjustments are designed to improve racing, simplify energy management, and reduce some of the limitations teams have encountered during the first years of the new engine formula. One particularly interesting area involves energy storage. Increasing battery capacity would allow cars to recover more energy under braking while providing drivers with greater flexibility during races. Engineers believe this could make power delivery smoother and reduce situations where drivers must aggressively manage energy just to complete a lap competitively. Additional changes are also expected to improve procedures behind the safety car and during formation laps, preventing teams from encountering energy deployment problems before the race has even begun. Taken together, these developments paint a fascinating picture for Ferrari and for Formula One as a whole. Ferrari believes its car has made genuine progress, yet refuses to celebrate because every improvement is immediately matched by fierce competition. Vasseur continues shielding his team from unnecessary pressure by focusing solely on the next race instead of championship mathematics. Meanwhile, Formula One itself is already planning another technological evolution that could reshape the competitive order once again. So, what happens next? Ferrari still has important upgrades scheduled, continued power unit development underway, and complete confidence that the SF-26 has not yet reached its full potential. But McLaren, Mercedes, and Red Bull are pushing just as hard, ensuring that every Grand Prix becomes another chapter in one of Formula One's closest development battles in years. The championship is far from decided, and the second half of the season could completely rewrite everything we think we know today. If Ferrari's next upgrades deliver exactly what the engineers expect, the fight for victories could become even more unpredictable. One thing is certain. The story of the SF-26 is only beginning, and the biggest moments of Ferrari's season may still be waiting just around the corner.